Yo, okay, there we go. Yeah. Yo, what up? How's it going? SolarLune here. And welcome to another stream. I'm an independent game developer, musician, creator of various things, frameworks, stuff like that. And welcome to another stream of my efforts to not explode. This is a game I've been working on in Golang. It is a 3D exploration game. Excuse me. Desktop audio. Desktop audio. You wanna desktop audio? You wanna desktop? Okay, so it is working. It's just quiet. All right. Yeah. So this is a 3D adventure game that I'm making using my own 3D renderer. It is a PlayStation 1 styled game. So something I did to make things a little bit different is basically you can interact with things and it'll give you a prompt or it'll give you text or allow you to interact with the object and be like, oh, okay, you tried to pick it up or you tried to open it or whatever the case is. Even if it doesn't work, it'll give you some additional information. So for example, trying to open the car door or interact with the car will say like, oh, the car door is rested shut. It won't open anytime soon. If you right click and go into look mode, it'll give you this message when you look at it. So this is kind of like the traditional, paradigm of adventure games where you can use an item or try to, pick up or touch an item or whatever, interact with an item or look at it, right? So you'll get different prompts or different amounts of information depending on whether you pick it up or look at it. So it rewards trying various things. So the lagging fixture is fixed to the wall. Is there a way to remove it? You attempt to open the doors, but they're locked. Not sure why that's so loud on the first play, or what? Because it's like it feels like it's like almost a different sound when you first interact with the door compared to when you use it again. I'm not sure. I have to look into it because I genuinely do not know. Fez Pazarino says, yo. What up? How's it going? Loopy Juice says, says, soda more with the sunblock. I don't know what that means. So I have the reveal system working. So it needs to make sound when it appears, some sort of like chime. But that works. Picked up bronze key. Then we run over here. You're able to open the doors. And there we go. So this works pretty well. What I did, I implemented that little cinematic of opening the door using Gokoro, which is my coroutine library that I made for Go, which allows you to basically make a function that can yield or that can pause to allow an engine to progress. Like for example, if you have a system where you want something like a function to run, but you don't want to freeze the game while you wait for a second, you basically would use a coroutine that would basically yield once every frame, right, for 60 frames, and then that's how you wait a second, and you would just lock the player from moving, and that's what I did. So you can see here when you interact with the double doors, it says, hey, do you have the bronze key? If so, then, well, if not, then it basically just plays the locked door sound and says you attempted to open the doors but they're locked. But if you do have it, then we run this coroutine that just says lock the game so you can't move or rotate the view, and then play the open animation for the doors, and then remove solidity on the door turn off interaction and examination, so you don't get any more prompts when you go to interact with it, and then just wait until the animation's finished and say set the text that says you're able to open the doors. Wait a second, and then unlock the player. So the upside of this is that this is all traditional or just plain Go. This is not a special language or something like that. It's just Go, which is great. That's fantastic because most well, a solution to this kind of a system is to basically make a language, essentially a simple language, either in text or make a simple language in using objects and then link those objects together to create actions. So I'll demonstrate it like this. A simple language would be something like, if we were to kind of like make this work the same way, we could say like lock and unlock. So let's say we're making a language that's basically a scripting language. So we could feed this script into our game to do special things. So if you say, okay, we want to lock the game, so we'll make a command called lock, and then we want to play, let's say, double door left open on, it would have to be like node or something like that. Root, well, I guess it would be roots that like that already. So door, left door. Okay, so this is an example. So you can see how basically you could make your own scripting language, and this would be a solution. So we would say, if we type lock, then when we parse our script and say, okay, lock means to lock the game, and we could put this in a block of some description if we wanted to be like, this is the double door, double doors, script like this, right? So we could be like, okay, lock means to lock the game. Play anim is to play an animation with the name of the animation and then the node to activate it on, and then removes the property from the object. So it would be probably like door like that. So the upside of this is that it's pretty simple. It's very readable. It's very simple. It looks nice. But the downside is that you have to add every single piece of functionality that you are missing. So if you want to, for example, add 1 to a variable, you have to add that functionality. If you wanted to set it to be a variable plus 1, you have to add that functionality. So everything is just a system where you're constantly adding to your scripting language, and it's adding to your scripting language parser, and it's going to be a lot of work to get even basic readability and basic formula capabilities, like adding numbers together, or getting numbers from an object, or activating on pointers or sharing pointers. That kind of stuff is going to be a lot of work, right? All right, well, here's another method of doing this, where you say, okay, well, what if we wanted to maybe have Go kind of do the legwork, but we also want to not have to implement all this scripting stuff? Well, what if we made objects that basically represent different things? So you could say, okay, let's make an action. Let's say an action is wait. So you say the time, right, is a float. And so you say new action wait, returns an action wait. Time is a float 64. Okay. All right. So let's say you have something like this, and then you have a cinematic, which is a struct actions action. So this is another way to do this. I probably shouldn't be just like wasting my time on this, but I'm just showing the difference between these approaches. So you could say, let's say we were defining a cinematic, and it basically is a sequence of actions, and the action can be an interface. So different things can fulfill an action, right? So you can say an action is just an interface, and it, let's say, just has a function that says done. So for example, the wait action, it's done, is true when globals.time is greater than aw.start plus aw.time, let's say. So this isn't going to work, of course. I'm just talking it through. But basically, the idea here is that when you want to make a cinematic or a coroutine or whatever, you say, well, let's make a cinematic struct. Let's add actions to the action slice and then execute them in sequence. So for example, when it hits an action wait, it will sit there until the done property on the action is true, in which case it will move on to the next action. This is fine for a completely linear set of actions, like if you wanted to maybe display a message, play an animation, whatever. But once you have branches, now it's no longer suitable, because now you're going to have an if action where it can, for example, jump to either an if action that takes other actions, or an if action that takes a label that it jumps to when the if statement is true. That's what I did for I know who I am, and I was not very happy with that because it was very overly complicated in my opinion, and kind of awkward to read. Let me see if I can pull up an example of that. If we go to is it here? No, I think it was actually in assets. Here we go, events. So I had a whole bunch of events, and if we go to even just let's pick the smallest one, just to kind of, or one of the smallest ones. I'm not sure if the smallest one actually has anything in there. Okay, so the smallest one is here, 171 bytes. Okay, so there's nothing here. But I mean, even this is kind of bad, but we'll pick one a little bit bigger that has a few more accent. Okay, here we go. So this is kind of an example of this system where we basically define variables, define actions, and then execute them in a sequence. So here's the kind of the approach, and it's not, this is pretty good, but it's still pretty bad, because basically the way that I approached this was to make a function that returns a slice. Well, this is Godot GD script, so it's not a slice, it is a list of basically action objects. So a name tag object basically sets the name tag for a dialog box. Message types the box. Wait waits for some amount of time. If it's nothing, then it's 1 by default, 1 second. Name tag again sets the name. Message types the box. Name tag, message, wait, name tag, message. This isn't bad. But the problem is pretty easy to see if you ever get to a statement like, or a situation like, let's say, this, where you can see where it kind of falls apart. This is a basic puzzle where essentially it's like, if you have solved the puzzle, then it gives you a message that says basically everything's good. If you haven't solved the puzzle, then it goes through this. So this is the problem with this approach, is you can't really have if statements. You can't really have very easy branching or execute multiple things at the same time. It's wholly linear and one at a time. So you end up with something like this, where you say, if this value is true, then you jump to a marker, which in this case is solved. But if it's not true, then it keeps going. Or if it is true, it jumps. Otherwise, it keeps going. So it goes through this, and then we put end to indicate that the cinematic should end, because otherwise it would keep going, right? Because this is all a slice. This is all a contiguous individual sequence of events, and it gets really bad when you go to any non-trivial, good lord, any non-trivial, how did I even start this? Any non-trivial, oh lord, oh my gosh, any non-trivial like amount of text. It's word salad. It's so bad. It's so bad. Can I move this over here? Yeah, move this over here. Close this. No, close this. Move this over here. Okay. So you can see in this example, this is in the park in I Know Who I Am, when you're sitting and talking, where you're able to talk to the lady who's sitting down. You can ask her one of these options, and it's just if then salad. This isn't even that complicated, but it's like if you choose one, then jump to examine. So examine's here. If you choose, I guess the first option. If you choose the second option, jump to identity. Identity is here, and so you have jumps to go back to the loop. You have it's just this is heck, man. I tried to use variables to like make it a little bit like more comfortable, where it's like, oh, my color or them color, her color in this case, for like, not having to retype everything constantly. But it's not the simplest thing, and this is just a straight dialogue system, straight like, you pick A, we talk about A, and then we jump back to the choice. You pick B, jump back. You pick C, you jump back. So this isn't even that complicated. This is just a pure dialogue sequence, essentially. This, whew, this is worse. And then any kind of a puzzle is just like, I never want to do that again. I never want to have to do it again if I can help it. Let me see if I can find a puzzle room. Where's a puzzle room? Where's a room that has some puzzle, some meat to it? Where's mansion? Where's the mansion? I'm the inside mansion. Yeah, where it's just like if then salad, where it's just like if this, like this, if this is happening, then jump here. If this is happening, otherwise jump here. If this is happening, otherwise jump there. And it's just like you can't really chain if statements. Not really. You can't. It's just bad, dude. It's so bad. So that's the downside of that approach. Is basically this system of making actions or making chunks and then executing them in sequence. It's not bad, but it's definitely not good. I mean, like it's not bad. It's not bad. It's just not bad. Tony D says, "Hey, hope you're well. I'm well. I'm all right. Maybe I'm not well. Maybe I'm fine. But yeah, I'm doing okay. But yeah, there's upsides to and downsides to both of these approaches. This is very clean, but it's very you have to do a lot of work to kind of maintain it. This is very a much less work to maintain, but it makes things a lot more verbose, and it doesn't allow you to chain things or combine things very easily or do multiple things at the same time. In comparison, this is just kind of a normal, excuse me, this is kind of just a normal like block of code. But the upside is, we're just looking at it. Like, we can do whatever we want here. We can execute code on multiple objects at the same time. We can freely yield to the engine's execution when necessary. We could choose not to, like, we could run a coroutine at a different, like, we don't have to freeze the game to run the coroutine. We can choose what we want to do, which is still good. And then the upside of all of this, or another upside, is that for this, we can just do really simple structs for these kinds of situations where we're just providing flavor text. If we're just providing flavor text, all we have to do is just create a type, a struct type, and then what's the word? Create a struct type, and then just put in there its examine and interact functions, and that allows us to say like, oh, this car has put some text out when we go to interact with it or when we go to examine it. So really simple stuff. Yeah, so it's pretty good. Pretty good. That's not bad at all. This is pretty solid. This is pretty solid. Cool. So that's solid. That's yeah, not bad. Snowminx says probably the only time I like visual coding is for dialogue trees and such. And I guess the thing about like using visual coding for dialogues that I never really got is how people do things like animations and things during the dialogue. Like I could see using something like ink. I think that's the right tool. I think there's other tools as well for designing dialogue trees. But the thing about uh, that is just like how do you do that and then also insert like animations or variable setting or things like that. It seems like it's fine for a visual novel or for dialogue in a maybe an action game where you don't really have like flags where it's you basically they're just kind of flavor text, but it's like how do you do both, I guess is the question. I imagine there must be some sort of system to do it, but I'm just like how. um and also it seems like it's really heavily leaning toward dialogue, so it's like if your game is heavy dialogue like an RPG or a visual novel or something like that, maybe using visual coding for that or a visual dialogue system would be good for that. But if your game is like an exploration game like Yume Nikki or a action platformer or something like that where you don't need so much dialogue, it seems like it might be better to go with a different tool. I guess that's just what it seems like to me. I'm not sure if I'm correct though. Tony D says, is this your next game or is this you messing around in your engine? Both. I want this to be my next game as well as me messing around in the engine. I don't want it to be much bigger than this. I want it to be done as soon as possible. So we might plan. We might plan today. So far, it's shaping up. It's pretty good. Something I don't like is that this is super like heavy liminal vibes, but very community liminal vibes. Except the eclipse, that's pretty dope. But like this is pretty much what most people think of when they think of liminal space or a game about liminal spaces. It doesn't feel like something only I could come up with or any cohesive kind of idea. And I think that that's really the problem. Like this area is clearly the the liminal space um let me go over here. The liminal space ish hotel, where it's like you can look out like out of a window and you're looking at windows on the other side of the hotel because the hotel like bends around. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, this thing. This, creepy hotel that a lot of people have interacted with or seen on the internet. Um and I should have a roof. I forgot about that. There's supposed to be a roof, but this like really just un undesigned space where it's just like let's put like fake grass and like no doorways and just like leave it like this. This is so weird. It's such a weird hotel. But this is like there's nothing really personal about this. There's nothing really unique about this. So I'm kind of wondering if I should like redesign it. The fake grass sells it. It kind of does. I'm wondering if I should like let me pull this up. Hold on. I'm wondering if I should redesign it to like work in a different way. Be more personal, be more liminal, be more specific. So I gotta think. I gotta see. So what I might do is I might actually design the game, because we've been working on I've been working on basically the mechanics, which are fine. The mechanics are good. You know, the systems are good. The assets are good, but I might like redesign the maps to kind of give an idea, to kind of be about something. I think this opening area is fine. I think this entrance is kind of fine. I don't know. I gotta think about it. Like the mix of liminal and that night feeling gives a good vibe. I also do as well, but I also feel like most people who make liminal space games or movies, or not movies, but liminal space games or anything, really kind of go for the same vibe, where it's like it's nighttime and it's liminal, and it's like, yeah, okay, but I don't know. I feel like I can do more. Like liminal space isn't just nighttime. Close. Let's see. Like I can do more. I don't want to just do what everyone else is doing and be like, see, it's liminal. It's like I can do more. So let me see if I can plan something. So firstly, what is the core? Well, firstly, where's the music? How about that? Oh, why is it so loud? Sorry. Well, that was my bad. It was just dumb loud. Okay. All right, so this is pretty dope. I made this program too. I just like this it's kind of dope. All right, so what is liminality? Liminality is basically when, I think the name of the game also was going to be minimal liminal. I forgot about that. Liminal seems to be primarily a spooky horror genre. I think liminal spaces give a creepy feeling, but they don't need to be relegated to spooky concepts. It can be, well, like liminality is frequently kind of associated with dreams, but maybe it shouldn't be associated with dreams. Like maybe we could just make a realistic liminal space game where you explore liminal spaces. Liminal spaces. So maybe multiple maps that are liminal. Kind of think of old point and click adventure games. They were very, very liminal. Yeah, that's kind of where I was going for. I wonder. I would say early morning is also a very liminal time, like 6 a.m., 5 a.m., 4 a.m. Like when it's dark but it's morning. That is a very, very liminal feel. It's different from nighttime because you're tired, no one's up, right? It's very silent. The traffic is light. Like those times. Let me start writing this down. Okay. So I would say liminal times. Early morning. 4 a.m. I would say midnight can be a liminal time, or late at night. But like what else? I would say foggy times, like foggy, when it's foggy, daytime, that can also be very liminal. I would say when it's raining, maybe raining morning, like raining at like 10 a.m. can be very, very liminal because it's dark, but it's like evenly lit. Like it's dark, and yeah, the cloud cover is making it dark, but it's like it's still evenly lit to where you don't need like street lamps or anything. You can see everything. It's just dark. So foggy, late night, not snowing, but foggy when it's late at night, like let's say 2 a.m. Early morning, 5 a.m. Foggy, raining, Barrow Hill. Let's see. 3D point and click games. Yeah. Okay, so let's say these are some liminal times. Now, what are some liminal places? Basically wherever people normally are, right? So subways, airports, I guess hotel, like lobbies. Ooh. Yeah, hotel lobbies, I would say. What else? Liminal times sounds like a newspaper ran by an AI. Liminal places, liminal times. Liminal places, minimal times. Where else? Where else would be a liminal place? Maybe a house. Like a home. Long corridors, that's true. Homes, I would say homes are liminal places. Like if you were to go into a house and there was no one there, and you're just kind of like, that would be pretty creepy actually. And I don't think I've seen that kind of an exploration in a liminal place game, because normally people think of liminal places as being places where a lot of people are, but really any place where people normally are is where there isn't a human is a liminal space. Well, I don't want to confuse liminality with creepiness. I think it would be creepy to go into a house and be, looking for humans or looking for things, and you hear door closing softly or the floorboards creaking, and you're like, is there someone here? That's creepiness. That's not really liminality. Liminality is when there's people not in a place where there normally are a large amount of people, where there normally are large amounts of people, like parks or playgrounds. Those that can be liminal. Sports arenas. That's kind of true, I guess. Yeah. Liminal is when there are too few sounds. Yeah. So I guess liminal effects is another note. Minimal sounds. Short draw distance. Focus on non-man-made sounds. So like electric sounds, like buzzing of like street lights or like ATM machines, things like that. The hum of vending machines, the feeling of static when you touch like a CRT TV, that kind of stuff. Like it's too empty, can be associated with uncomfortable situations. I would say so. I would say maybe uncomfortable situations where there are primarily not very many people. Uncomfortable situations. Okay. I kind of like this vibe we're coming up with, because I feel like what I want to do is maybe pick just one of these areas and build it out into a sequence of puzzles, and that's the game. So like the assets I have here are fine, but I kind of feel like I was just building them, just kind of like putting stuff together to kind of like test things out, and it works fine. But I'm wondering if I could do something more like grounded, like this is the area that we're designing and this is what we're looking for. Repetition is very important. A place between two places that is empty. Subway, airport, hotel lobbies are places between two destinations. Yeah. Playgrounds. Well, I mean, I don't think it has to be necessarily. Well, no, I think you're right. I think that playgrounds and parks are destinations, and so them being empty isn't out of the ordinary. It's just creepy when there's no one there. I think liminal places, like you said, is specifically areas that are transitional areas. So that we'll just put a different category. This is creepy places when empty. So another liminal space might be like bus terminal or train terminal. We can make this a little wider. There we go. So like bus or train terminals. Subway. What else? Transitional location. places where you, I guess a transitional location could be anywhere where you're not there for very long. So maybe a car. People are in there for a long time, but no one is usually in a car. Like, let's say you were in a car and you couldn't see out the windows. That would be a kind of a creepy place. Same thing for a bus, for that matter. Like, you would never be on a bus without anyone else. So if you were like in a bus, oh, that would actually, I like that. Like, what if you were on a bus and you had to figure out a way to get out, and you couldn't see out the windows because it was super foggy, and there's no one else on the bus with you. The bus door is locked. So you're like looking through the like the, you know, under seats, and you're looking above like the head, you know, room, like the, you know, luggage room and stuff like that. Planes also would kind of track for that, because no one is in a plane like for more than 30 minutes or an hour without it moving somewhere. Like, you're in a plane with other people when you're leaving. Like, you're never in a plane by yourself. In a plane by yourself is a very unique feeling, because that never happens. Liminal places alone. What else? Gas station also fits that. Yeah, I would say most people are never in a gas station or at a gas station for more than a few minutes. You know, you go in to get something, you leave. I like that idea. So what other places like that? A gas station. Where do people stop? Rest stops. Gas station, rest stop. Facility sites. Yeah, okay. What other places? A rest stop. Yeah, I kind of feel like a rest stop is a place I haven't actually seen. Yeah, I haven't seen that done. Let me see. But I also feel like a rest stop is kind of like... Wait, what? What is... Yo, what is this? This is like the smallest possible thumbnail. Like, I can't even read. Like, there's a guy and there's something on fire. This looks AI generated. Like, this thumbnail looks completely AI generated. But anyway, a rest stop is, well, I mean, this is more so like a gas station. I would say a rest stop or a rest area basically doesn't have anything. It's kind of like more like this, I guess. Huh. So a rest stop is kind of like, yeah, I would feel more so like this is a rest stop. It's basically just a roof, benches, a trash can. That's kind of it. Restrooms. But a rest stop doesn't usually have much. It seems like some people or some rest stops are more built out though. Rest stop, huh? Rest stops are always kind of liminal. There's never any staff. Yeah. Bathrooms and picnic area. Yeah, that could work really well actually. I feel like I want to do like a rainy or foggy rest stop that kind of hits liminality while not just being like, it's nighttime. Oh wow, how creepy. I don't want to just be creepy. I want it to be a little deeper. But I also feel like what can you do at a rest stop? Like, what's the point? Is it just to maybe whittle away time? Like, just spend time? What if that's it? What if the game is just basically you call for help because your car breaks down and you just play the game for 20 minutes while you wait for AAA in this universe. Maybe it's triple B. You wait for triple B to appear and you know, fix your car. So you're just basically walking around the rest stop and doing different things. Maybe there's not even any real danger. Maybe there's no real like harm. Your goal is just to kind of like explore this space. It's not about you're supposed to just kind of like chill. I like that, because I feel like most games use liminal spaces as an excuse, and then they turn it into a horror game, which is like, there's a fine line between liminality and creepiness. Liminal spaces are creepy, but liminal spaces aren't creepy spaces. Like, there's a difference between something being liminal and something being creepy. It can be liminal and be creepy, but creepy things aren't liminal, if that makes sense. Like, there's a difference. There's a difference between something being creepy because someone's stalking you, and something being liminal because you're alone, and it's creepy because you're alone. Like, there's an effect that liminal spaces have on your mind that makes you feel like it's creepy, but it's not the space itself or the situation itself that is creepy. It's just liminal. So in other words, I think that this would be good. I think I like this idea of basically making a rest stop, because you can do a few different things with a rest stop. You could have, for example, an arcade machine that you can play. Maybe I make a little game, a little like shooter or something, a little like, you know, Mario game or something, and you can play that for a few minutes. Maybe there's somebody you can talk to. Maybe there's a book you can read. Like, you know, maybe there's a place you can go. Like, maybe there's stuff you could do. Puzzle locations, creepy places. You could take a windowless bus between locations. That's interesting. Yeah, maybe all of this isn't even in one place. Maybe this is spread out across multiple places, and while you're waiting for your car to be fixed, you can just like walk or ride a bike or take a windowless cab or something to these other locations to boost the liminal space feel. But overall, the game is pretty much just about you dealing with waiting. I like the idea of it being kind of like a time limit game, because who said it boosts replayability? Tara Brown. Yeah, you have to start over to keep exploring the area you found last time. Yeah, I like that, because that also kind of makes it so that it's like something that is doable for me, because it's like, you know, the game is over as soon as 10 minutes pass, so all I have to do is program in the time limit, make the end, and then the game's over. And then all I have to do after that is just make the middle, which is just kind of a playground. You can just run around and talk to people and solve puzzles and do all that stuff. And the game can be more of like a can you do it all in one go kind of a thing. Even better is maybe making it feel like there's no saving, when really it saves after each run. So it's like, you know, you think like, okay, the game has no saves, or the game is a one and done kind of game, but actually it saves your progress, and things do change on repeat occurrences. Maybe the things you do in one run carry over to the next one. So if you solve a problem in run 1, run 2, that problem is solved, or that door is unlocked or whatever. But the game is still about you just waiting for your car. Nothing really changes. The NPCs will definitely remember you. That adds to the creepiness. Yeah, I like that. I like that. I like this kind of like open, smooth. It's one of those things that you can only really do in a game, and I think it's fun. I think it's a fun idea, because like if you present this kind of a concept in a movie or in a TV show or something, the hook of the show or the movie has to be essentially that this is not the first time you're here. Essentially, like you are forgetting, or you are a clone, or whatever. This is some sort of, or this you're time traveling, whatever. That's got to be the hook, right? But in games, you can just build that in as part of the mechanic. That can just be part of the mechanic, that you play the game again and again, and people remember you because you're playing the game again and again. It's not part of the narrative so much as it's just a result of the narrative you're experiencing as you play the game. It's not like you're playing the 10th time that you're playing through the 10th attempt at escape, so much as just you've played this game 10 times, and now on the 11th, people are like, hey, you've played this 11 times, and you're like, yeah, I have. So it's interesting. I like this idea. I like this. Okay. So let's do this. You're not a character after you walk away from your car. The game knows you. I'm like, what? Okay. All right, but this is cool. I like this idea. So I don't know if I want to go like super deep into plot, but I guess we'll write down just the overview. Car breaks down outside. Where is this city? North Carolina. It has to be a city like this that has a developed rest stop, because not every part, I'm in the US, not every part of the US has rest stops like this, or at least when I think of rest stops, I think of basically like a bench. A bench and some trees. But like different places, you know, actually build out their rest stops to be like, you know, centers of interest, like this. Are those? Yeah, that's a Burger King, isn't it? I feel like that's a Burger King logo, is it not? Like that's Burger King, that's Starbucks. Yeah, I think these are like businesses. So some, like, apparently rest stops can include businesses. I had no idea. I mean, like, obviously apart from this where it's a diner, but I mean, like, this is a really high definition photo. That's dope. New Hampshire Liquor and Wine Highway Diner. New Hampshire General Store. I like this. I'm gonna grab this. I've never seen that before. Yeah, I've never seen that before either. Even if I were to walk into a rest stop that was this developed, I would still assume it's essentially a center, like a community center or something like that. I would never expect to find restaurants or libraries or any kind of like things to do inside the rest stop. I would assume a rest stop is just a bench and a roof. And then finding a building, I'd be like, this is dope. And then finding stuff inside it, I'd be like, this is even doper. I would never have expected to like find a place to eat or find something to engage with inside this rest stop. So this is cool. This is cool. We can use this for references. Tony D says, in the UK, most rest stops include businesses like Burger King or McDonald's. Never seen that. That's extremely weird. I've only seen the ones with restrooms, picnic area, and then a structure to cover vending machines from the rain. Yeah, vending machines is about as good as it gets in the US. About as good as it gets is you turn off the highway, and there's roofs and pillars and a bench and maybe a restroom. And by restroom, I'm talking basically just like a toilet on the ground, but like walls around it and like a roof. Like it's like park restrooms, not like a nice restroom with like, you know, hot water and like soap. It's pretty bad, or at least it can be pretty bad. So any kind of rest stop like this that's actually well like developed is pretty out of the ordinary. So New Hampshire, I think this was, where was this? Does it say? Yo, why is this all short? Unacceptable. I gotta fix that sometime. Are they all like that? Since when is it like that? I'm pretty positive it was not like that up till now. Okay, well, at least it's always like that, so we can fix that some other time. Yeah, this is interesting. This is interesting. Let me take another look around here. Texas. I feel like bigger southern states are more likely to have restrooms or rest stops like this. Where California, yeah, see, this is extremely I don't know why they take this picture so far away. Yeah, this is more so what I would expect of a rest area. It's just basically like a community center kind of a building, maybe some restrooms. I would not expect this stuff, whatever it is. Whatever it is, I wouldn't expect it. I would basically expect just this flat one-story area Peeing area. Can I have a peeing area, please? But yeah, this is more North Carolina. But this says a bit of luxury, so I guess it's not a usual rest area. And true, I mean, it does look a lot nicer than most. Okay, this says dog park across the parking lot. I thought it said dogs walk across the parking lot. I was like, can they not walk on the sidewalk? Like why? Like why not? Why must they walk across the parking lot? Okay, so this is good. Okay, so we'll move this down here. I guess for right now. So cars break down outside a rest stop in, is either going to be southern or northeastern, I think, the US, if we're going based off of this vibe. I'm not sure if, yeah, I can't speak for the UK or other parts of the world. Just in the US, it seems like it's basically like northern US, which would make sense if it's foggy, or southern US, like Texas, in that area, Louisiana maybe. Someplace that has a lot of land, I feel like they're more likely to build bigger rest stops. For some reason, it just seems like that's what it is. But I guess we'll go with basically like northeastern, like New England, northern Connecticut. Where did this say? North Carolina. Okay, let's say Connecticut. Let me just break out Google Maps here. Los Angeles, California. Crazy that Connecticut is spelled like Connecticut. Connecticut. Springfield. Is that Massachusetts? Okay. New Hampshire. We have the fancy rest stops on the major highways like I-90. But it's got to be far away from town. It's got to be something that you would like. It's got to be like Middlebury. I have no idea. I have no idea where Torrington. I have no idea where any of this is. Let's see where's a major. But you're right. I think let's say you were taking a major route. So if you were coming, let's say you were doing like a cross-country drive, because that feels like something that would be in a game like this. So you're driving from Portland to New York. So you're going to hit Iowa, Chicago, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Ohio. Maybe something like one of these two. Youngstown, that feels about right. Pretty small town, huh? City population of 60,000 people, making it the 11th largest city in Ohio. That's extremely small. Wow. Let's see what Youngstown is like. Pretty dense. Okay, looks like a normal city, but yeah, definitely seems small. You can see the wall here, the trees. And this is important just to see. That's near where the train just derailed. What? '23 Ohio train derailment? Train and a dump truck collided. Oh no. Oh man, I don't think I'm not sure if I heard about this or if I just didn't know. Man, that's sad. Big spill. Norfolk Southern train derails in Ohio. Well, dang. Well, let's just say it's Ohio for now. Maybe not here specifically. Maybe not here specifically, but let's just say it's in Ohio. Let's say it's, I don't know, you went to like Urichsville or something. Urichsville? Oh, 5,400. Okay, so it's tiny. So let's say you're, yeah, just off the beaten path. So Ohio, I don't know. I feel like I want something further north, but that's pretty far north. Yeah, you can't get any far north. Maine? Nah. Michigan? Wisconsin? Wisconsin? Nah. Minnesota? Minneapolis. Well, let's stick with Ohio. Ohio's pretty tall, pretty far up. Ohio itself is a big liminal space. But I mean, Ohio's kind of a meme, I think. So I'm not sure if I like that. But because I mean, like, I don't want to just be like, oh, you're jumping on the Ohio meme. But let's say in northern Ohio, maybe they're going to Vancouver. Maybe they're going to not Vancouver, Toronto. Yeah, Toronto. So let's say they're. I mean, they wouldn't. Well, yeah, maybe they were coming like and gonna swing up through Buffalo, New York, into Toronto instead of going through Detroit. Okay, so they're in northern Ohio. That explains why it's foggy, why it's cold. You have 20 minutes before the Triple B wants to service your vehicle. You explore. Okay, so I like that idea. I just really like this because the time limit isn't a time limit before failure. The time limit is just a time limit to facilitate the game, because it's like if you didn't have a time limit, then you would think I've got to do something before I have to do something before before they come, before they service my vehicle. So maybe 20 minutes is a little long. Let's say it's 10 minutes. I'm not sure. Maybe it's not a time limit, a physical time limit. Maybe everything you do takes some amount of time. So for example, you have 10 minutes until you go into the rest stop, then you have 9 minutes, something like that. 9 minutes, 30 seconds. So you have as much time until you do something, like opening a book takes a minute. And also there we go, 15 minutes. If this was really, or you're breaking down on a little road outside of a rest stop in northern Ohio, it probably would take them like an hour and a half in real life because who's going to be close to you, right? It's a big state, lots of distance. I'm sure no one would be that close. I'm sure it would be like a 45-minute, 1.5 hour, 2.5 hour situation. But for the sake of the game, we'll just say you have 15 minutes. I think rain could be a fun effect to implement. That could be fun. Countdown in the corner. Yeah, I like the time limit. I like the time limit, but at the same time, I do feel like it would be better to just have like a soft time limit, so you have room to kind of explore and stuff. I don't know. We'll see as we build out the game. But I like this idea. So this is the general vibe we're going for. Okay, you have 20 minutes, but you can't solve everything in 20, so you go to the next location, and then when you come back. End up coming back to the first location, everything is how you left it. Yeah, I think that basically, like, there needs to be the time limit, whether it's physical time or game time. Well, there's 3 possibilities. Physical time, where every minute in the game is a minute in real life. Game time, where every minute in the game is maybe a second or some other unit of time in real life. And like soft time, where the time only advances sometimes when you do things or go places. I guess I'll write these down. Miniliminal or minimal liminal? I'm not sure. What do you guys think? Minimal liminal or miniliminal? Maybe lemon? Oh, that's pretty good. I like lemon because your car is a lemon. Maliminal? Maliminal? Miniliminal? I don't know. I kind of like the idea. I like minimal liminal because it's almost the same backwards and forward. Minimal laminal. Minimal laminum. Minimal lemon. Nah, it's horrible. Minimal liminal. Lemon. I like lemon. Millennial. Maliminal laminate. I think lemon is pretty good because it's like liminal, lemon. Yeah. So 3 possibilities. 1 second. 1 second. No. Okay, so I gotta see which of these work. So let's break down the kind of things you can do so that we can generally say like, oh, the game is done when we do this, when we implement these things. So we want a rest stop. We want you to be able to, I want to be able to read a book of some description. I want to be able to talk to someone. I want to be able to unlock another area. I want to be able to, what else? Read a book, talk to somebody, unlock another area. Play an arcade game. Play a Game Boy. I want to be able to, and we can put this stuff like this so that we can read a book in the rest stop, talk to somebody in the rest stop, unlock another area, play a Game Boy. That can happen in the rest stop. Maybe listen to some music. Maybe on like a, yeah, that would be cool. So yeah, and then what else? Oops. What else should we be able to do? What would be fun? Yeah, jukebox. What would be in a rest stop? We don't, well, like a Game Boy is like super like a thing that you have to, finding game cards would be cool. Game cartridges would be cool for the Game Boy. Unlock another area, listen to music. Okay, so let's just stop there because the Game Boy adds an entire like other layer to this I don't really want to do. I love the idea, but I'm sure this will take me like a million years to implement. So I'm like, this is already too much. Let's say unlocking other areas. This is also the kind of game where like maybe I could kind of grow it over time. So I'm not like super stressed about all like implementing all the things or a whole bunch of stuff. Let's just focus on implementing just some things. So for the game, for now, let's say that we just want to implement the rest stop. This would be nice to have. Right here. We want the rest stop. We want to be able to read a book. We want to be able to talk to somebody. And we want to be able to unlock other areas. So now we can add some other things to this. We can say in a blue sky, we want to be able to like a just really cool, thing to do. I want to be able to in this game. I want to be able to what would I want to be able to do? I'm not even sure. Well, let's start with this because I can't think of anything else. So that means that there's going to be a library in the rest stop. At least one other person in the rest stop. And the ability to unlock other areas. And I have a weird sundial puzzle that doesn't work because it's limited lighting. Okay, so yeah, solve puzzles. We'll put that in there. And that is for unlocking other areas. Okay. So what other areas would be there? Let's say there's a playground. Let's say there is a... places would be areas, actually. Whoops. What other areas would be cool in this kind of a area? I think a farm, maybe? The book could be brochures about other areas, like a brochure about the park or playground. Examine brochures, that would be cool. Distant elevator music, laminate, solve puzzles, unlock an area. Well, that's kind of to be. So, So really, I guess the library is part of the rest stop. So you can read a book in the library. So we'll say art. Oops. Art. Oh, this is what somebody was talking about for that bug. Yeah, that should not be happening. Well, that's super annoying. Architecture, read a book, talk to somebody. Bugs. Yeah, super annoying. Well, this is why I make games, because that makes me use master plan, and that makes me fix master plan. This is why I don't work on master plan. So that I use master plan to make games, so I get annoyed by bugs, so I fix them. If I just work on master plan, then I don't I don't notice the bugs. That's a stupid reason. That is incorrect. That's incorrect. I'm just having fun. Poking fun here. Brochures. Really, media would be cool. World building. World building media. Oh man, so I guess we have world building in this section then. So I'll have to come up with some idea. I mean, like, I like the idea. Someone said that someone lives near a supermax prison. I like the idea of like giving hints to things that don't actually happen. So it's like, you know, a newspaper article that talks about somebody escaping the supermax prison, you know, a serial killer or something like that. And it's like, that gives a feeling, well, no, I don't want it to be creepy. I don't want it to be creepy. Let's just say like a newspaper article that says like a new prison is made or something like that. A new prison is established. And really, it doesn't go any further than that. Like, it doesn't, you know, it's just like, what is that? What's going on? And you don't actually interact in any way with this prison or any elements of the game apart from the rest stop, but the media you consume kind of informs your understanding of the game world. Birthday clown escapes Supermax. What? During inmate party? Birthday clown escapes Supermax during inmate party. Like what? Like why? Snowmink said super clown. Snowmink says CRT man escapes prison. The man who wears a CRT on his head and delivers CRTs to people who escape prison. Oh, to people escapes prison. Okay, so he's the CRT delivery man. But I like the idea of world building articles. So maybe we can write down some like notes of just like yeah, let's not go super deep. Let's just focus on what we got here. So we want a library where you can read a book. Somebody can be there. You can solve puzzles. Oops. There we go. So the rest stop is just this stuff. Why didn't that move up? It was supposed to move this stuff up. Rest stop, library, read a book, talk to somebody, solve puzzles. All right, I'm gonna just do this real quick. I want to make notes about master plan. Yeah, okay, so this is good. I like this idea. So this is what we're going to be building, something like this. So the roof is generally kind of like a, what's the word? Can't think of what this shape is describing. How you describe that shape in English? I forget the phrase. It's not an A roof. What is it? What's the roof? Pitched roof. So the roofs are pitched. Parking lot, gravel. Foggy. Yeah, okay, let's give it a shot. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna just go ahead and commit all this. All right, now we're gonna go ahead and do some other things. We're gonna go to main.gov. This is now called limit. There we go. Rename the folder. I don't need those. Okay. Would master plan support markdown and text cards? Could have a little button to switch between displayed and editable text on the card itself. Oh, that might be a better approach to doing it. Yeah. Also, I have to close master plan now before I forget. Like that's true. That's true. When you put it like that, that does make it seem doable. The entire time I was basically avoiding markdown in master plan because I was like, well, how am I going to make it so that what you edit is the same as what you also let me hold on. Cool. Let me just fix this. Hold on before I forget. This mastered app plan. Yeah. No. There we go. Okay, so yeah, the thing I basically didn't want to implement Markdown because I was like, well, how am I gonna make it so that you can like edit? It's not all anymore. There we go. How can I make it so that you can like edit the text and also have it be visible? But yeah, now that does make basically more sense. I think I can probably do. I can do it, but we'll see. We'll see. I think I should be able to do stuff properly. We'll see when we get to, let me just add that to the list. Hold on. Yeah, I could at least do like bold heading. Well, I don't know about heading, but I could probably, do bold, underline, cross out, or strike through rather. I could do a few of them. Could be like a marked note. That way you can still have the regular note as well. A markdown note. Oh, that's an interesting idea. All right, so here we go. Let's see if it still runs. It should. Nothing has changed. All right, we're good. Okay, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna go ahead and just basically nuke all of this. I don't think we really need anything of this, but you know what? I don't know that for sure. So let's do it like this. We'll just make a new project. This is gamedev. Is it in here? Must be. Is it in here? Gamedev. Where are you at? Yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and this old. Okay, because we're starting this from scratch basically. We really only need to keep the player more or less, and I guess the car can stay. I mean, we can keep this stuff, but not like everything. Okay. Let's say this is. We can say this is game. Hold up. Oh yeah, we'll have to start over essentially. Let's see. Can I external data fix files? Let's see. Yay! Doesn't have to necessarily switch back and forth. Like bold could still display asterisks just in bold. That's an idea. I mean, like, I think it needs to like go into non-edit mode, because, yeah, I don't think I would want it to be bold. Like asterisk, asterisk, bold, asterisk, asterisk has the thing in bold between the asterisks, but the asterisks are still visible. Like that's fine in edit mode, but when you need to be able to switch it off to like look at the note. So maybe like the note card specifically can be marked down. That's an idea. Okay, so we can basically start this from scratch. So we're gonna go ahead and create a plane. Whoops. Like this kind of has a potential to be a little Animal Crossing E. I think that's pretty cool. We will, for now, let's just go with a plain white. Well, actually, we could just go with gray. There we go. this can be, is a sector, channel mesh, sound, auto subdivide. Well, maybe that's fine. Okay. Lucretia says, what's up? Hello, welcome to the stream. We don't need the BG anymore, I think. All right, so main. What's the dealio? I'm basically restarting development on this game. We were planning out basically, because basically essentially what I was working on was just kind of like a liminal space game just to make a liminal space game. And I didn't want to just make something that, like, you know, anybody could make. So I was like, well, you know, what would be some liminal places and liminal spaces, liminal times? I want to make something that kind of feels interesting, but and is interesting specifically for exploration. But I didn't want to make something that just felt like something anyone would make that lacked personality and like my personal, like, you know, desire to make the product. So we were kind of thinking of like places and times, and I thought we came up on rest stops. A rest stop is a place that basically people normally aren't, you know, frequenting, right? Because people come in, rest, and then leave. So that has prime liminal space feel, and also could be interesting to explore. Because a rest stop can kind of be as complicated or as simple as you'd like. You being there also works because your car breaks down, and then you have just some amount of time, maybe 15 or 20 minutes, before AAA or the equivalent in game come to service your vehicle and give you a ride home. The game isn't a horror game or anything like that. You just spend time. You're just literally spending time as you wait for the clock to tick down, and then you just can repeat the game as many times as you like. And each time you complete the game, it saves your progress, so you can like get some stuff done or maybe get an item or whatever, and then when you pick up the next run, you'll be starting for 15 minutes, but you'll have the items or have unlocked, you know, whatever gate or whatever that allows you to explore a little bit more. So I like that idea because it feels very doable, and it feels very much so like it feels focused on this space, this place. So we'll see if we can do it. We'll see if I can do it. So right now I'm just starting from scratch, just trying to basically see like how does the game work. I'm not seeing anything, and that's understandable because actually I need to make a wall or something for this. Let me think. Oh, does that? Yo, let me double check something here. Neat, can't wait to see how it goes. Yeah, I think I don't want something that's super big, you know, to make. And I think I also don't want something that's just like me vomiting up content where it's just like, you know, blah, here's a liminal space game. Like, I want like something that, you know, I would be interested in playing. Where it's like, oh yeah, this seems interesting, or, you know, oh yeah, this seems like, you know, a unique take on it, and it's not just a excuse to go horror, where it's like, oh, this is a horror game that takes place in a creepy place. No, it's, you know, a fundamentally interesting, you know, vibey game. So I think I like this idea. I have an idea. Previously, I was just making stuff. This feels like an idea. Let me just check something real quick on Tetra. I need to see. Okay, it doesn't. Okay. Let's see, can I internal size? Okay. I'm trying to see how I want to do this. Okay, let's just do it like this. Excuse me. You know what? For now, let's just not even have sector-based rendering while I'm like building the game, because I need to see how it works and looks and stuff. Okay. So we still have sprinting, we still have jumping. Everything should work basically the same. This is a cube. Where did you come from, little buddy? Oh, you're right here. Okay. So let's start making the house, the rest stop. It's gonna be, well, actually, I guess it doesn't have to be even, does it? Oops. It's basically one floor, more or less. Although I do like how this floor has like a main area and then the rest of it. I suppose in an area you're reclaiming the space from liminality. In a sense, yeah, because you're like doing something with the space. Now, how does this work? There's eaves, right? So, okay. Excuse me, I'm alt tabbing. Thank you. Okay, that looks pretty good. Let's see how this works if we just slap some materials. Let me just slap some materials on it. Cube projection. Save me, cube projection. Save me. Let's see, for the roof, I'm not sure what color it should be. You know what, hold up, let me save all of these, because I know I'll probably need most of them. Actually, I don't think I'll need this. Freeman, vertex color, definitely will need that. Definitely need that. Window. I guess we'll need that. Where did I ever use window? Oh, I remember. Okay. All right. So, oh yeah, wood. We have a wood texture now. Okay. So maybe it should be a wooden. No, that doesn't make sense. I think this is probably fine if I want something like this. Let's see, we want the roof to be like, I don't know. We want the roof to be something. Wood? Nah. Maybe the base could be, maybe this all should be roof. Wood rather. That looks so bad. This looks, I think we want, let me see, how should it be? I like the way this looks so modern. This is brick and then the top is like wood on the front. Okay, so maybe I need a brick texture actually. That probably would be better rather than cement. Let's grab a brick texture. Let me see, where is it at? Let's see, do we have, surely I must have brick. I mean, these are kind of brick textures, but I'm thinking more like brick textures. Let's go to free game textures. Open game art, save me. Surely, yeah, like I just need a brick. I just need bricks. I like these. All right, that's gonna take a while to download for some reason. For some reason, it's just a massive thing. Probably a lighter cedar wood. Maybe so. Maybe it needs to be lighter. I could use some windows too. Let me grab those before I leave. Where's search? Do you have any window by chance? Windows. I searched for windows. I remember now. I don't think I found any, but maybe I just didn't look hard enough. Okay, that might be a good start. Doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to be enough. Let's see, so bricks. I mean, this works pretty well, but I think we got amounts. Okay, so if we do brick, here we go. That's a really good texture. It's so realistic. Oh, this has some windows. How nice. Will your player also go through a liminal experience? Go through liminal experiences. What do you mean by liminal experiences? Ooh, I like that. I like that a lot, actually. I kind of like the dull gray bricks, but I think it's probably best to go red. Well, no, I like dull gray. Blue also kind of goes, but we could paint it up whatever color we want. Let's go with gray because we can color it. Oh, there's a diamond pattern on this one. It's dope. That's for the ground. We'll put that on the ground, I guess, something like that. But this should be good. I think we could probably just. These are a little too close. We could probably take this and like grab a piece of it. Excuse me. Make a tile and then go from there. I like how you can see it like gets grimy underneath the window. So many good textures. Ooh, I like the edge on there. Like how you transition between child to adulthood, you're in a weird state trying to figure things out at adolescence, which is like a liminal experience. Huh. That's true. Should the protagonist himself be... I kind of like this because this gives us both the edge, these edge bricks, as well as the center. So we can make this tileable and have one tile that basically does everything. We could probably grab maybe a small piece like this. If we want clean bricks, if we want dirty bricks, we get, you know, it seems like there's a little bit of room. Although, no, I don't think that would work. Probably tiling might be a little too obvious. Oops. Where was... I like this. This is a pretty solid one. I think we're gonna go with this. Yeah, like I guess the protagonist could also be going through a liminal situation in his own life. He could be, he or she could be like unsure what to do with their lives, sad or whatever. And it's just like, you know, they feel stuck, which mirrors what the game is like. So that's true. It could be something like that. You'd probably darken it a little bit. There we go. Yeah. Raise the dark. That's probably pretty good. Something like it's so aggressive. That feels a little better. Can we desaturate? Just a smidge, not entirely. Because this is... yeah, something like that should be good. That should be pretty good, I think. Whoops. All right. Let's save this right now before we forget. Let me go back to tree because I actually want to grab this tree and put it into our game directly rather than having it in a different place. Pinned tree object tree. There we go. Save. Where's this tree? We can get rid of the tree. Get rid of that. Tree render. Get rid of that. Window. What is this? Oh, this is... yeah, okay. Alright, so we got a tree. We're good. Okay. It would be cool if it wasn't like dumb dark. So let's see if we can fix that. We want the clear color to be like a nice fog color, something like that. Cool, cool, cool. I don't think I want this transparency effect. I think I want it to actually fade. So we will do that. Dither size 0. There we go. Just no. Yeah, just the fade. Okay, feels a little small-ish. Is this scale right? Oh, I can't go. I can walk through it. Is the scale right? I think the scale is correct. This feels pretty big. Yeah. I feel like it needs to be wider, but that's not too bad. Maybe the entire game is a liminal experience. Hold on, let me just, before I forget, please auto subdivide. But yeah, it could probably be wider. There we go, and then we can replace this. There we go. Now, well, a couple things. Firstly, I think we're probably good on this. We could probably raise the light level overall to be like 0. Can we get like that? Something around there. So cool. This is your own 3D engine. Thanks. Yeah, I'm kind of surprised that it's as good as it is. And I don't mean that in a bad way. Oh my gosh, what happened here? I don't mean that like I'm not trying to be like boastful. I'm surprised too that it actually like is working. It actually kind of is working. This might be too noisy. I mean, there's many problems here, but one problem is that it might be the brick texture might be too noisy and too big. Did I not? Please subdivide these faces. Okay, it looks like this auto subdivide doesn't work for meshes like this. We'll have to do it automatically. Something like this. I mean, manually. It's a little better. We'll figure this out, or I'll figure this out at some point. But anyway, we need some sort of roof. Also, maybe the bricks are too big. Let's see. So maybe like 1. That might be a little better. It's the moire effect is so heavy. But I feel like this is nah. These bricks are too small. They're like this big. They need to be at least double that size. Oh, I think Blender crashed. Yep. Didn't like that. The brick looks fantastic. It's too big. I think it needs to be like. What was that 1? I think 2 is like the about where it needs to be. I think also it's probably too aggressive. We probably need to kind of flatten the light level. Something more like this. because it's so like aggressive. I think maybe more like that would be good. Okay, let's see how that goes. It needs to be wider. That's better. That feels a little better. Also, let me get rid of this light on the player because it's kind of throwing me off. Or I guess maybe actually it can stay there just in case we want it at some point in the game, but it just needs to be off for now. There we go. Yeah, thanks. It's interesting to make my own game engine like this. Feels interesting, feels weird. Okay, so that's pretty good. I think what we want to do actually, hold on, let me see something. Yeah, it's not cutting these right. It's not the edge loops are off. Yeah, it's not good. Whoops. Let me see if I can fix that. I don't think I can fix that. This is something that needs to be fixed beyond what I can do here. But just do something like this for now. This no longer needs to be. Something like that's a little better. Yeah, we got to figure out what to do about this. Or I'll have to figure out what to do about this. But this is okay for now. So how far out can we see? Maybe build the building from square planes. Yeah, I mean, like PS1 games, I think would subdivide it properly. So I'm pretty sure I can just subdivide it at the end, but I'm just like, I'm not worried about that right now. I'm more so just trying to get to a stage of playability. Somewhere around there. Okay. Let's see now. So we'll need sidewalk. A sidewalk. So actually we could probably just do it like that actually. I don't have sidewalk. I can use bricks again. Let me see. How do I not have sidewalk? Browning score. Stone. Ain't got it. Let's see. Wow, no one has sidewalk textures, really? Okay. Cement. Yeah, I'm surprised. I thought that they would have sidewalk textures. All right, I guess we can make it ourselves. Concrete. I mean, yeah, concrete cement, I suppose. Oh wait, yeah, you're right. Maybe I have some concrete. There you are. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That's exactly what I need. Is that how big I put the bricks on? Yeah, okay. We could go with maybe something like this. Or this. Not this. But I'm thinking like some kind of like diamond bricks would be good. Something like this would work. Beautiful textures. Oh, that's actually perfect. This is perfect for the roof. Yeah, let's grab it. And we will use this, I guess, for the ground. Give me a 5 ball, like F12. There we go. Probably to selection, scale it down to 256 by 256. Excuse me. render map make. How seamless. Okay, well, I thought it would tile like just in one direction, but apparently not, so this is fine. Apparently this is fine. Let's color desaturate, or I guess saturation. We can just adjust the saturation. Oh, preview. There we go. We can lose a lot of the color. We can lose all the color. We can lose a lot of the color. There we go. Metal. All right. Oops. And then this is just bricks. We can just size this to. Give me 833 on both sides. Bring it down to 256, or rather, rescale it. 256 by 256. And then can we? Whoops. Good night. That's horrible. All right, I guess this is fine. Curves. Let's adjust the curves a little bit. Color. All right, I think that should be good. Stone. All right, that should do it. Stone. All right. Okay, so now here's where hopefully this all kind of comes together. So stone mortar. We want to use this. Like that. Ooh, that looks pretty good. Yeah, we want this to be, instead of wood texture, we want this to be core metal. Looks really good with the roof with the metal. Yeah, I think it looks better. I think that looks better. Need a hanging tin roof sound and playing inside. That's true. It would need that. Okay, now I should be able to can we like can't do it, can I? Alright, well, let's do it like this. Vertex paint. Okay, for whatever reason, this isn't doing what I think it should be doing. So we won't worry about it. So something like this should kind of work. Let's see. Maybe the brick on the ground needs to be a bit smaller. Yeah, you might be right. That might be better. That blue is too aggressive. Give us a lighter blue, but a darker value. Alright, let's see how that goes. Yeah, it's a little better. Yeah, it's way better. Let's extend this out a little bit. I don't know why Alt Tab is so wonky. Hold on. There we go. Can't get up there to see what the lighting on top is like, but this has some vibes. This is getting vibes. This is serving some vibes here. Yeah, okay. This is working pretty well, I think. Yeah. It's not bad. It's definitely not bad. I'll keep working on it and see what I can get in the interim, what I can get with some time. It definitely feels like this will be interesting, I think, once I get a little bit further along. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. I think I'm gonna end the video here. It's been about 3 hours, something like that, 2.5 hours, 2 hours, 1.5 hours. How long has it been? It's been 2 hours. So yeah, I'll end it here and I'll pick it up maybe tomorrow or the next day, and we'll see what I do and how far I get. Because I feel like there's room on this concept. Before it was like, you know, just making something just to make something. But here I feel like there's definitely room. Like I can definitely make an interesting game that will be fun to play and that would be interesting to play. Yeah, but thank you very much for watching. I've been SolarLune. It's been real, and I'll catch you guys on the flip side next time. If you want to support development, please check out the links in the description to Master Plan on itch or Steam or my Patreon. And thank you very much for stopping in. I'll catch you guys later. See ya.